Well, hello and welcome to this week's episode that I'm going to start with a question and I want you to answer honestly. Do you wear your busyness, your overscheduledness as a badge of honor? When people ask you, how are you? Do you say, busy, 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 never enough time to get it all done? Do you? If you said yes, sheepishly, you are not alone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Terri Cole. I'm a licensed psychotherapist, a relationship expert, and the founder of Real Love Revolution and the upcoming Boundary Bootcamp. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about how you can do less and live more. Doesn't that sound good? Adding one more thing to your to-do list? No, we're going to be taking things away from your to-do list. So let's start by just breaking down, what is this phenomenon of being so overscheduled? What is it? Because what I find in my own life is that when I was younger, maybe even in my 20s and 30s, I thought that busyness equated to success. I thought that me having so many meetings and so much to do meant I was being successful. And then the older I got, the healthier I got, the more I realized anyone can stay busy all of the time. And what is the cost of staying busy all the time? Because it isn't free to be scheduled in that way. So let's start breaking down how we can shift it. So the first thing is stop the chronic screen time, right? It's the chronic screen and sound time. So if you are waiting online, are you on your phone? If you are driving somewhere, do you ever just drive and enjoy the silence? Or are you always needing to be filling the silence? And each one of these steps in today's episode is going to challenge you to do something different and see how you feel, see what changes. So, no more chronic screen time. No more phone in the bedroom. Obviously, no phone at dinner, clearly. But it's not just that. If you're on a train somewhere, are you ever looking out the window and seeing what's happening outside? Or are you on your phone or some device that's taking you away? Think about things like Candy Crush and Solitaire. What are they doing? They're just killing time, literally killing time in your life and your mind that could be used so much more productively for something else, even if it's just expansion. I don't mean productively like you need to do something productive. I mean, allow yourself to be, to breathe, and see what comes up in your mind. So the second step is about taking every opportunity that you can to create space, to create stillness and silence, or to create presence, like your own ability to be present. So if you're online at Starbucks or somewhere else, instead of being on your phone or cranking music, maybe just be present. Maybe just look around. Maybe just close your eyes and take 10 deep breaths. But something so that you're not on this autopilot of distraction, because that's really what we're talking about. The third thing is about discernment. As I said before, anyone could be busy all the time, right? It's possible for all of us to be busy all of the time. But are you being discerning with what it is that you're spending your time doing? Rather than the auto yes to things, start thinking about being discerning about, is it something you want to do? Is it worth your time? Because you could be doing something else, even if that means resting, napping, doing nothing, that might be better for your mental health, for your quality of life, than the thing that person wanted you to do, whatever it may be. And this leads us to the next step, which is basically a quote from one of my friends, Marie Forleo, and she says, if it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no. And so from where I sit, I think that you really have to think about saying no to things that are not aligned with what it is that you want in your life. If you're always feeling frazzled, if you're always feeling overwhelmed, if you're always feeling like you just have to get through, like who wants to live a life where we spent so much time just getting through? I mean, we don't have infinite time on this planet this time around. So getting used to saying no to things that are not aligned with what it is that you want to create in your life, your internal life, and your external life, right? So, as Marie Forleo would say, if it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no. And the fifth step to do less and live more is to actually institutionalize a morning practice of stillness and silence. You can use this time, it could be 5 minutes, to set your intention to not be on autopilot of busy all day long. Starting your morning with deep breathing, with dropping your attention inward, is the best way to sort of calibrate your mind and your mood for the day. Creating what you want rather than just letting life happen to you. Protect yourself and your time, because you get to a point in life, you guys, where your time is your most precious commodity. Talk to anyone who's ever had a life-threatening illness, and they'll tell you, so many clients I've had who've been diagnosed with cancer and other things had regrets about quote-unquote wasting time or spending so much time doing things they didn't want to do. So value your time, and you can set yourself up to be successful by creating a morning practice that sets you up to win, that sets you up to create that space. Because the busyness, you guys, there's a compulsion aspect to needing to be busy all of the time, to never being alone with your thoughts. And how can you possibly know who you are if you never sit in stillness and silence long enough to hear what your thoughts even are? We need this. It's a part of the evolutionary path that you can't grow without knowing yourself. And people who can never sit still, it's a struggle. But you're also really losing something if you don't at least try, and also expect, you guys, of course it's going to be uncomfortable. If you haven't done this ever, it will be uncomfortable to do less. You might feel guilty. You might feel like you're slacking. You might feel lazy. All of these things that we've been trained. And the habitual busy person is incredibly used to being engaged, right? Again, back to online gaming and those types of things. What are they doing? They're engaging your mind. And if it's social media that you're spending all of your downtime, not as downtime, doing, this is all about your brain, what's happening, right? The satisfaction area of the brain is getting a hit. You're getting a hit of dopamine and feel-good hormones every time someone likes something or comments in a nice way about something that you've posted. And you can still do those things. Just don't do them as much. Really get committed to this morning practice and see if you don't like the way you shift your internal experience, because honestly, I really think that you will. And the last step is to work hard to be here now, right? This present moment. It is a gift. Your own presence in your life is a gift that you can give yourself. But it requires a certain amount of discipline, being aware of when you're not here. One of my friends, Josh Pace, has something called Committed Impulse. And it's like, it started as an acting class, but I actually did it as a part of a workshop that I was doing. And one of the exercises was that every single time I became aware that I was lost in thought or lost in my own mind, I would have to say out loud, I'm back. So imagine that I'm in a room with like 300 women. And for the whole entire day, as we were doing other things, we had to practice this exercise of out loud saying, I'm back. after, you could be talking to someone and you had to do it honestly. So I could be in the middle of a conversation with someone, and if I realized that I wasn't listening to them and I was lost in thought, I actually had to say, I'm back. Now, we were all doing this experiment, so it wasn't as, embarrassing or terrible as that may sound. But what I walked away from this experience with was this deep knowledge of how much I was lost in thought, how much I was thinking about what was next, how much I was ruminating about something that had happened, and not being in this present moment. So that was a really valuable exercise. And if you want to do it, I'll put a link so that you guys can actually see Josh's work and what he does. He's also a well-known actor. He's also the fiance of my friend Marie Forleo. So he's in my circle in lots of different ways. But I feel like that could be a really helpful thing for you to do that's free and easy to get a clear picture. At least that's what it did for me. Gave me a clear picture of how much of the time, wow, I was not in this present moment. And guys, the things, when you really think about why does this matter and why am I talking about this today? Because we don't have an infinite amount of time on this planet, as I said before. It is actually finite. So when you think about your life, it's valuable. Every minute, every hour, every day is valuable. So treat that time like it's worth something, because it is. Because you are. And how you feel and what you want matters. And being overscheduled and so busy, you can wake up and 10 years have gone by. And you know how people who are older, and I find this now that I'm not 25, are always saying, oh my God, the time went so fast. I still feel like I'm 28, but I'm 90 or whatever age they are. It does go fast. And yet, when you practice mindfulness practices and present moment consciousness, it's almost like it can expand time. And the same way, if you think about the law of attraction, how like attracts like, when you are so busy, you attract more busyness. So you have to stop this cycle. So I've given you these steps. I hope that they help with you stopping this cycle of being overscheduled or too busy, so that you can actually live a juicier, more vibrant, more present, more meaningful life. So if you liked this episode today, please share it on your social media platforms. I hope that you guys have an amazing week, slowing it down and being present. And as always, take care of you.